from a girl who's talking nonsense. She drives down to see him, finds out that he's joined this club or something that is researching the video, but now he's in over his head, David.
That's not how it goes.
What do you mean?
He's in like...
I'm running through things quickly. We can elaborate on
But you
things
have
later.
to make note of the story that he tells her while they're in bed together.
You talk about it if you want.
Oh,
Is it important? Is it important?
Well, because
people saw the movie. They don't need us to recap it. I just want to talk about it.
I know you want to talk about it, but just that's because it gets the reason why the things go as it goes because it reflects on that story he talks about. And I forgot what the name of the character is, but it's a biblical character, goes down to hell to save his woman, and Satan goes, well, okay, fine, you could have your woman, just walk away and don't look back, and you'll get her back. And then he ends up walking away, and he looks back and loses her forever. And he says, I wouldn't be able to do that either for you. And then she even says, like, while he's talking while he's telling her the story, she's just like, why is it always the guy that saves the girl? Why is it always the girl that's always in peril? And they have like the whole neo-feminist thing going on.
God. All right.
And like I'm not saying I have something against neo-feminism. I'm just saying is that like they impose it so badly. It's terribly done.
Every time you tell me something that I may have forgotten about the film, I hate the film a little more.
You're right. Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah,
That's what we're here for.
David, I was really confused. I want to know if you were confused. The first third of this film, because everyone at that college kept talking about their tails.
Yeah.
They were like, "Did you get your tail yet?" And the other one was like, "I lost my tail." And the other one was like, "He's like, man, it's like, when are you gonna get your tail?" Like, and I thought, oh man, this is getting into some weird places because somehow within the evolution of this franchise, people have started growing tails and going through some sort of like weird metamorphosis.
Yeah, like
and
black hole or something.
Yeah, and that was not the case at all.
No,
they were talking about getting someone to watch the video after to pass on the curse.
Tail could have even meant sex. That's another way of using tail. You just get some tail while you were gone. That's another way of saying it too.
Yeah, but the way they were talking about it seemed a little stranger than that.
That's what I figured. That's the first thing that popped in my head. There was that innuendo that popped into my head over anything metamorphical.
You didn't think they were like turning into something weird?
No. Did you get some tail? Did you get laid?
They just talk about it in such a strange way.
Yeah, well, no, it's the way the kids are talking. We're not in college anymore.
Yeah, but you see, David, this whole beginning to me was the most interesting part of the film, and I said I wasn't going to praise any of it, but I'm going to praise a little. I'm going to praise
say what you
the
liked.
Tidbit of an idea here.
Yeah, say what you like. That's fine.
It was an idea I wish they had based the movie around.
Yeah.
A professor and his students researching the video, viewing it as like a gateway to another reality. They analyze the images and the people's experiences after watching it. Get as close to Samara as they can before getting someone else to watch the video. Like, it was all choreographed really well,
right,
in a sense, even though they were doing... Actually, the idea was pretty good. The execution, not so good. Yeah. So coming at this idea from like a scientific view seemed pretty interesting. And the idea of all these people being so thrilled, making these discoveries, but forgetting the danger they're in.
Right.
Okay, that's the movie I want to see. That's what I think would have been a good third film, kind of different from the other ones where they're looking at it.
Yeah, it's a different
approach. In a different way.
Yeah, a different approach, right?
They scrapped it. They scrapped that idea. As soon as Julia watches the video, they go the ways of old, just looking for Samara's body to put her to rest.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the weird thing that they take him to this, like, these students go to this club. It's like this club. It's on the 7th floor of like the faculty or something like that, and they're all there hanging out. But like, what are they talking about? They're talking about, oh yeah, I just passed it on to that guy, and then this girl passed it on to that guy, and then like, what? Do you just go to the center just to make sure everybody's okay, but they keep on passing on the video? Yeah,
well, it's like, okay, they got to study this thing.
I guess, yeah.
And they want to study the effects it has on people.
But it was a club. It looked like a loungy. And I'm like, what? So how is this a student thing? This is more like a social gathering more than anything else.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, well, what's that guy's name again? The actor they shouldn't have been able to get from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Johnny Galecki?
Yeah. At this point, I was like, Galecki, you are a creeper of a teacher. Like, you're having this weird like club space on the top, on like the 4th floor. You're just hitting on these women.
Yeah, it's weird. It looks like it's a huge pickup. Did you get your tail, by the way? So it totally works in context.
Yeah, but see, the idea of having a network of people and a system put in place to make sure the curse is always passed on to someone before your 7 days are up, that seemed pretty solid. But again, terrible execution, David, because it doesn't take NASA or MIT to get someone to watch a 2-minute video. That's all they had to do. They have 7 days. You have Sky at one point. I don't understand how Sky in 7 days could not find somebody.
Yeah.
And even in the last hour, I wouldn't be doing anything other than getting someone to watch a video. You
know
go to a
that took
stranger and say,
Yeah.
watch this video, I'll explain later. And then you have 7 days to get him. So
Right.
you're buying yourself time. How is... I don't understand.
Well, here's the thing. Let's explore that. Okay, I want to go back on the NASA thing just to explore that. Just to explore that idea afterwards. But what I want to say first, there's something wrong here too. The professor, Gabriel, Professor Brown, he meets Sky 6 weeks earlier before we were introduced to any of this. So he slept with her, watched the video, got a bunch of people before that, and it was already Sky's. And since then, it was Sky's times. Her time was up. Did he show her the video late? It didn't make any sense.
Maybe you want to build up a good network before he showed her, but...
That it's still dumb. Like, I don't understand why use the same character, or even just just have a different character. It just didn't make any sense.
Again, David, this is a movie you saw. This is not the movie I saw.
No, exactly.
I missed all this nonsense.
But back to the NASA thing. If they show somebody from the government or some of some sort of famous institution, they would probably die and they would probably try to cover it up. That's what I would imagine the approach is, instead of actually exploring the idea of what happened.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not saying I'm not.
I would just say I want to debunk that approach.
Hold on a second, because I want you to know I'm not saying NASA needs to get involved. I'm just saying it doesn't take NASA.
No,
it doesn't take.
Well, clearly not.
It doesn't take anybody to realize that you can get someone to watch it within 7 days and cover yourself up.
Right.
On the flip side, David, I could see Samara getting pretty fed up with all this teasing. Just saying, you know what, screw it. You got 7 seconds now. Now you watch the
or
video.
7 hours, or 7 minutes.
7 seconds, like no time. It's like you watch the video. I'm coming for you right quick.
Yeah.
I think you college kids with your glasses and haircuts.
You know the other thing too about the legend. If we could jump to the Legend of Samara.
This is how she makes her living,
Yeah, but what's the deal? She was thrown into the well, survived for 7 days, but then they found her body. So how do they know she survived for 7 days?
I don't know. She says it.
There was no like, how do I say? There was no like forensics at the time for them to tell that. It doesn't make any sense.
There may have been forensics.
Not that kind of forensics.
All right.
Like,
well, I don't know, man.
But these are the things that are bothering me. Like information's being passed on to me.
These are the things that are bothering you?
Yes, it's like when someone says a fact about something, I'm gonna beat around it a bit. It's like, okay, they're saying this. So like, for the example, the legend says that she was put into the well for 7 days, but her body was found like a year later, but she survived for 7 days. The 7 days is crucial for some odd reason. And how did they know it was for 7 days?
She may have carved the inside of the well. She may have etched in 7 days.
Why didn't they say that?
Well, maybe we just have to think about it that way.
You just don't throw it out like that. You just don't throw things like that.
Yeah, but see, that's what I would have read. Like in this movie, I found like they did way too much over-explaining.
Totally.
So I'm okay they didn't explain that because I can come up with an answer that I'm satisfied with.
They did that with other things, like in terms of like why they did. Kind of like as we go about it, I'll say some examples where they answered certain questions, especially with D'Onofrio and everything. But like, anyways, go on.
D'Onofrio.
I like his name. I'm going to keep saying his name.
Julia meets up with Sky, the girl from the Skype call, and tries to get Julia to watch it, but is unsuccessful. So Holt, now we find out that he changed his number.
Twice.
Why? Why is he changing his number? Because Samara's calling him, or because he just doesn't want...
I don't know. It's like new phone, by the way. Yeah, I just watched the video. I got to get a new phone.
Yeah, like if he's avoiding Julia's call as to not involve her,
right?
It's not the right way to go, because that's going to ring. It's going to ring some bells, ring some alarm bells.
Why don't he just Julia? Couldn't he just say like, "Oh, hey, I'm too busy. Sorry, whatever it is." He could have easily
break
answered.
up with her. Be like, I fell in love with someone else. Then explain later.
Yeah, but the whole thing about unanswering messages was like the factor in this film, which was terrible. It's like, all you had to do was look at your phone and you would have gotten an explanation sooner.
Yeah, but I want to say that you can't ever explain this and have someone believe you, except Holt explains the video and Julia buys into it right away. Doesn't just like, yeah, sure, okay, I believe it, and then she watches the video when Holt's asleep.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
To save his life.
Yeah, well,
because she sees that he's in pain, sees that handprint on the back, and she's like, man, he doesn't have much time. I'm gonna watch it. Now we have another 7 days. But
he's gonna get he got it anyway. But
yeah,
anyways,
he would have. But I think it was all an effort to get her in it, not by the teacher, not by Holt, but I think it just. A series of events happened.
Yeah, I just don't understand why she would like, because she kind of judged him on just like, you know, oh, how did you get involved? Like, why would you watch it? Why would you? Well, you clearly saw the situation you were in. You were practically forced to watch this video.
No.
It's like it's easy for you to get in. It's not like it's you know, it's not like it's drugs or anything. It's like it's watching a stupid, you know, 3-minute video. Barely,
Yeah.
it's a minute.
It changes constantly.
Oh, does it?
No, it's just I don't know how long it actually is. It's just every time we watch it, it's a different length, different images.
Different images too. Why do they do that? Why can't it be the same one over and over again? Doesn't make any sense.
You got to buy the Blu-ray copy. You got to watch that just to see the real video.
I see.
So Julia watches it. She picks up the phone.
Right.
Gets Braille burnt into her hand after watching the video.
We find out it's Braille later.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I knew it was Braille before. Like maybe not the first time because it was pretty badly burnt, but you look at it later and it's like, well, that's clearly something.
I don't know. I can't really like. It could look like something, right? But I could just, you know.
Well, it looked like Braille, and then as soon as we saw D'Onofrio and he's blind, and it's like, well, I wonder where they're going with this.
Isn't that weird that like if it's like, you know, the only people, if you know Braille, of course people who could see could know Braille too, but really the dominant demographic who know Braille can't watch this film unless they have descriptive video, and if the descriptive video says the markings,
you don't need descriptive video. This movie was descriptive video. They described everything they were doing as they were doing it.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying it's a weird. It's quite the pickle.
Yeah. How convenient that D'Onofrio grabbed Julia by the arm at one point and just noticed like, oh, you got Braille written on you. It's like it's just too far fetched.
No, I think that works. I mean,
you think that if you were blind and you grabbed somebody's hand, you'd notice the bumps on their hand being Braille?
Well, yeah, it's a certain pattern. Yeah, it is a certain pattern.
But not when you're not expecting to read it. You're not.
Well, you don't have to read it. You have to touch it. That's how you read it, right? I mean,
yeah, but there's so many different feelings going on.
Well, he's also like, okay, we find out what it says. Then he's a religious man. He's probably even felt that word before. So I buy that. I don't feel like that's the thing to pick on.
All right, I'm picking on this whole thing, man.
That's fine.
Julia needs to make a copy of this video. Pass it on. Right. Real easy now. You don't have to hook up 2 VCRs to a TV and do that. All you got to do is copy, Control C, Control V.
Right.
You're done. But no, it's not working. For some reason, she can't copy it. Video cannot be copied. The video has new images now, especially for her. Just added images. I guess the bird that she saw. This is like, it's like this was the part was like Bye Bye Man when she's driving up. She sees a bird on the road. She goes to save it or look at it, and she almost gets hit by a truck.
It's not there.
It's not there. It's just trying to kill her.
But at least it led to something as opposed to Bye Bye Man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like, so like Johnny Galecki and like they look at parts of the video. Doesn't that count as sort of watching the video? Like, you break it down. Is it that big of a cheat? Isn't that kind of a cheat?
I don't know. I think you have to...
You should be so scared for you not to be able to open it and edit it and look at frames. Or else that counts as, you know, something should happen if you do that. Because it doesn't make any sense that you're allowed to basically... So if nobody has to watch the video, just look at it frame by frame. Because they're just images. That's all they are.
Yeah, but it's like hypnosis. If you just jump in and watch a couple of hypnosis clips, it's not going to hypnotize you.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like... Johnny Galecki knows that, like, he watched the film, he survived it, got the tail off him, right?
Yeah.
And... Well, now that he knows, you know, he just has to basically, you know, just look at the images. So they could all see what she was seeing. So they all had to turn around while she sees it in sequence. But there's the whole video there, and they could just look at the images.
It's a mess, David. It's a mess.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm adding to how stupid this is.
I mean, basically, they could watch it again, and if they're unsure, wait a few minutes. If they get a phone call saying you have 7 days, then they know they have 7 days. If they don't get a phone call, they're in the clear.
What's the deal? How do they deal with the fact that say someone doesn't answer it? Because they did it in Scary Movie.
If someone just doesn't answer?
Yeah.
She leaves a voicemail.
That's it? What if you don't have voicemail? There's some phones that don't have voicemail. Do they answer all these questions, though?
She gets annoyed. She'll probably call you constantly around supper time.
Well, that's like telemarketers. Yeah. I know not to answer around that time, though.
Well, she'll track you down.
For surveys.
She's persistent,
if she?
Anything.
But why through a phone? Why not through, like, I don't know. If she's so paranormal, why can't she just answer through, you know, can't she just, like, you know, scratch things on the wall? Like,
these are the things that are bothering you? Yeah. When D'Onofrio...
I know, man. I don't think I'm going to watch The Ring now just because of that.
So this video is, you know, it's got falling ladders, giant centipedes, a dying bird, water on a cross, baby in a box, cicadas.
And they ask her, what do you see? Well, you could look yourself, or she could say every single thing that she sees, and she doesn't.
It's like, it's happening real fast, guys. Like, give me a break. So this sets her off on a journey, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Find the town and graveyard that Samara was buried in. Speaks to a caretaker who is D'Onofrio and is actually the old priest who I assumed was the priest from the get-go.
Right.
I
Oh, really?
thought that he was the priest.
Lives
Because
on
he
a
lives
graveyard?
right beside the graveyard. And usually a church is right beside the graveyard. And
Right.
I guess they don't live at a church, but he could. All while fighting off visions that are trying to kill her. So at this point, it's